Welcome, everyone. Ready to dive deep.
Always up for a deep dive. Let's do it.
Today, we're taking a crack at Arthur C. Clarke's Rendezvous with Rama.
A classic.
And from the looks of the excerpts you sent in, oh boy, we've got a wild one on our hands. Just imagine a giant, massive cylindrical spaceship, totally alien, just appears in our solar system.
Now that's a way to grab your attention.
No kidding.
But-
What would you even call that? A first contact? A cosmic drive-by?
Well, the idea of these space arcs, they've been a staple in science fiction for
Wow.
ages.
Really? Like, how far back are we talking?
Think way back, 1920s. Guys like Tsiolkovsky, they were already dreaming up these self-sustaining ships, carrying entire civilizations across the universe. Rama. It's like someone took those ideas and made them real.
And the way Clarke sets it all up, so cool. We've got Space Guard, right? This global task force, their whole purpose is spotting those planet-killing asteroids.
Ironic, isn't it?
Totally. They find Rama, this thing that's anything but a rock, and at first, they think it's just another asteroid. Talk about a cosmic whoops.
It's the scale of it that finally tips them off.
Like, that asteroid's awfully long.
Clarke describes it as a domestic boiler.
A what?
A boiler, but picture one 50 kilometers long. And the readings they get on its density? It can't be a solid object.
Hollow.
Has to be. You put that together with the perfect geometry, it's screaming artificial, not natural.
Okay, so now put yourself in the shoes of the Endeavour's crew. This isn't just another space mission. It's humanity's first time landing on anything since the moon. Talk about pressure. But how do you even land on a spinning cylinder in the first place?
That's where Rama's design gets even more intriguing. Remember those pillbox structures at the North Pole?
Seems so strange at first.
They turn out to be crucial. They're positioned just right so they create this stable gravitational point. The Endeavour basically docks with Rama, like is planned that way.
As if to say, visitors welcome.
It's a thought, isn't it?
And then we get to step inside with them. Clarke's descriptions. Man, he nails that feeling of total alienness. It's not just being inside a giant spaceship. It's this inside-out sensation.
I know exactly what you mean.
Like if you were an ant looking up from the bottom of a bottle, these vast plains, these huge cliffs, even these straight valleys that seem to make zero sense. What could they even be for?
It's a landscape full of contradictions. You've got this frozen cylindrical sea, huge and still, like a snapshot of an ecosystem that's on pause. And then on the other side, you've got these deserted industrial zones, like remnants of a civilization light years ahead of us.
It's ancient and brand new at the same time. How does that even work?
Beats me.
And running through it all, there's this creepy sense of déjà vu, like they're walking through ruins that are both familiar and utterly alien. Makes you wonder, who were these Ramans? And what were they doing here?
The million-dollar question, right? And trust me, as Rama gets closer to the sun, things are about to get a whole lot more interesting. Picture a stage, the lights are going down, and the audience is holding its breath. We're about to see what happens next. It's like watching evolution on fast forward inside Rama. Coleo Pereira, the exobiologist, remember him? He's the one who called the hurricane. And he warns, as Rama heats up, the cylindrical sea won't just melt, it'll transform.
And boy, is he right. Forget a gradual thaw. We're talking the sea melting from the bottom up, huge chunks of ice breaking off, this wild, churning mess. Can you imagine seeing that?
It's a powerful image, isn't it? Rama's not just a hunk of metal, it's a slumbering ecosystem. And as it wakes up, we meet one of the most mind-blowing parts of the book, the biots.
The biots, these biological robots, as Clarke calls them, are like nothing we've ever imagined. Picture crab-like things, 3 legs, no mouths, just an array of tools. And they're not built in a factory. They seem to be printed right from the sea.
It blurs the line between life and machine, and Clarke does it brilliantly. Are they sentient? Controlled by some unseen force? We're left wrestling with these questions as they go about their work.
It's fascinating and creepy all at once. You've got these human explorers poking around in this alien world, and now they're sharing it with these creatures that seem to defy classification. Talk about a reality check.
And it cuts to the core of the book, don't you think?
Yeah.
How little we truly understand. The arrogance of assuming we're the only intelligence out there.
So the seas thought, time for adventure, right? They patched together this makeshift sailboat and set off on this crazy voyage across the cylindrical sea. Just try wrapping your head around sailing on water that curves up into the sky. I'd be reaching for the Dramamine.
But even with all the exploring, Rama's purpose remains a mystery. They find these traces of organic molecules in the water, hint that life could exist, but nothing concrete. It's like opening a puzzle box, and inside, there's just more puzzles. And then there's the southern cliff, this giant wall cutting off access to, like, half of Rama. It's a huge question mark, daring them to cross it. And one crew member, Jimmy Pack, he takes that dare seriously.
This is where we see curiosity going head-to-head with caution. Jimmy, he's driven by that thirst for discovery, and he takes matters into his own hands. Uses a smuggled skybike to try and reach the other side. Bold move, you've got to admit.
Oh, it's a wild ride, believes he. He's got this run-in with an electrical storm, the skybike goes haywire, and he ends up plummeting towards the cylindrical sea. But even in all the danger, Clarke gives us these glimpses of how strangely beautiful Rama is.
That's one of the most captivating things about the book. Even with all the mystery and danger, there's this sense of wonder. Like Jimmy's encounter with the flower after that crazy fall, he comes across this single flower, just blooming away in this alien landscape. Life finds a way, even in the strangest places. Don't let that flower fool you, though. Rama's as unforgiving as it is beautiful. Jimmy has another close encounter, this time with one of those massive crab-like biots, and it starts taking his skybike apart with, like, surgical precision.
The blend of beauty and danger, it's a constant theme. And it's never clear, is Rama just indifferent to these humans exploring it, or is it actively studying them, watching their every move?
And just when Jimmy's adventure hits a peak, we meet a whole new layer. The Hermians. Now, these are the tough-as-nails folks from Mercury, and they've been watching Rama with a growing sense of suspicion.
Yeah, the Hermians, they bring a whole new perspective. Life on Mercury, it's about as harsh as it gets, so caution and a healthy dose of distrust are practically in their DNA. They see Rama, this giant unknown, and they're not waiting around to see how it plays out.
And their solution, well, it's about as drastic as it gets. A missile, aimed right at Rama's core. Talk about an escalation.
Throws a wrench in everything, right?
Yeah.
You've got the explorers in awe of Rama, wanting to learn more, even if it's risky. Then there are the Hermians, and you can't blame them for their viewpoint. It sets the stage for one heck of a climax.
Talk about a cliffhanger. We've got this alien ship, bigger than any city on Earth, and someone's just hit the launch button on a missile. The tension's thicker than a neutron star at this point.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And with the Hermians making that move, you see how high the stakes are.
You've got the explorers, they're in awe of Rama, eager to learn more, even with the risks. Then you've got the Hermians.
And you can't fault them for their perspective one bit. They've carved a life out of Mercury, for crying out loud. One of the most extreme environments imaginable.
Yeah, talk about trial by fire. Or, I guess, trial by sun in their case.
Exactly. So caution, distrust of the unknown. That's practically hardwired into them.
Yeah.
Rama's this giant question mark.
Yeah.
And they're not hanging around to see if it spells out danger.
So they decide to write their own ending.
In a way, yeah. It's a clash of philosophies as much as anything else.
Right in the middle of it all, there's Boris Rodrigo, the Endeavor's communications officer. He's a fascinating character, a devout follower of the Fifth Church of Christ, cosmonaut. They believe Jesus was an alien, by the way.
Now, that's a belief system you don't hear every day.
Tell me about it. Here's a guy who already believes in beings beyond our comprehension, and now he's staring down a first contact situation that could either validate his faith or blow it to pieces. What a mind-bending situation.
Absolutely. Adds a whole other layer to the conflict, doesn't it? It's not just about different cultures clashing, but different ways of seeing the universe itself.
And Rodrigo, he doesn't just sit back and watch. He's the one who sneaks onto that Hermian missile.
You're kidding.
And disarms the bomb, risks his neck to stop what he sees as a cosmic crime.
That's incredible. Talk about putting your faith on the line. It makes you think, how far would any of us go for what we believe in?
Meanwhile, the Hermians, they lay down the law for Commander Norton, clear out of Rama's space or else. But Norton, in a move that takes serious guts, he basically calls their bluff.
Wow. He's not backing down.
Nope. Humanity's outmatched, but they're not playing the victim.
There's something really inspiring about that, isn't there? That refusal to be intimidated, even when you're staring down a power you don't understand.
And as if it's waiting for that exact moment, Rama starts to move. Slowly at first, subtle. Then, faster and faster. And here's the kicker. No engines, no thrusters, no plumes of exhaust. It's like Rama just decides to go and the universe says, all right then.
That's Clarke at his best, giving us a tech so advanced it's practically indistinguishable from magic. It's humbling, in a way. Makes you realize how much we don't know.
And just as suddenly as it arrived, Rama is gone, leaving behind more questions than answers. We get that brief glimpse of its creators in the illustrated catalog that turns up in London, but even that raises more questions than it answers.
It's what makes the book so great, though. Clarke could have spoon-fed us the answers, neatly explained everything about Rama and his purpose, but by leaving it open-ended, he makes us keep thinking, keep imagining.
So, Was Rama just some cosmic tourist stopping by for a look before heading off to the next galaxy? Or was this just the first act?
That, my friend, is the million-dollar question. And the beauty of it is we get to decide for ourselves. Maybe Rama was on a grand tour, soaking up data, gathering experiences, or maybe, just maybe, it was scouting us out.
Scouting us out. A little ominous to end on, don't you think?
Well, every good story needs a little mystery, right?
That's true enough. But there's one last thing to think about as we resurface from this deep dive. We focused on what Rama brought with it, the mystery, the tech. But what did it take with it? Did it grab information, samples, something more, before it vanished into the void? That's for you to ponder. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you on the next one.